Welcome back, everyone. I'm sorry about that if you were watching. We had some technical difficulties. I had a PC crash. I have a memory leak in my computer that probably needs to be addressed. I think that I might have some faulty RAM in my system, basically. So, occasionally during streams, we're going to have problems like this where we drop out for a few minutes. I no longer remember what I was saying. I know the general topic I was talking about, that I was on the topic of Nintendo and the way that they've managed things and the way that things have changed since the 90s, and talking about the Zelda games and how much they vary in terms of what people like and which ones people are really attached and drawn to. And ultimately, I think my point was just that there was a period in gaming when I was really drawn to one company, and when I was really very strongly attached to Nintendo and emotionally invested in them in a way that is a little silly looking back on it. And that had I had a PS1, that would have been my home much more. Because that's where the games that I would have loved were being made and released. And I don't know, I think that it's almost foreign to modern gamers, like the younger crowd anyway, that like those of us who actually lived through the 90s will remember that. And those of you who lived through the 80s and 90s will remember it probably even more strongly, because it was much more of a conflict at the time. But so I don't know. I wish that I had had the PS1 as a kid, but as it is, my nostalgia lies primarily in the Super Nintendo, especially the NES to a lesser extent. And I think that the N64 was not a bad system, but a lot of the games that people have nostalgia for are not things that I really was drawn to, or things that I was really attached to, I guess. I loved Banjo-Kazooie, but I never beat it. And I loved the Pokemon Stadium games because I was a huge Pokemon fan. And I loved Paper Mario because it was one of the few actual RPG experiences that was worthwhile that we got on the NES. And it was a mixed bag. I think that it was an excellent game. I think I like it more in retrospect than I did at the time. I think that there was more... I don't know. I think I was more drawn to... Oh, should I get... Well, this should give me a damage up, so I'm going to do it. Anyway, as I was saying, I think I was more drawn to Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo at the time, and I wanted Paper Mario to be more of a sequel to that. And when it wasn't, I felt a little disappointed and betrayed, I guess, because I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I wanted something more like what Square created with Nintendo then, instead of what Intelligent Systems created with Nintendo in the form of Paper Mario. And as an adult, when I've actually played Paper Mario, it has become one of my favorite RPG experiences. I think it's very clever. I think it's very funny. And don't even get me started on Thousand Year Door. Like, I have played Thousand Year Door a couple times. I may have to play it at some point on this stream, because Paper Mario was good, and Thousand Year Door was just a joy. Like, it made me endlessly happy to play Thousand Year Door, and I enjoyed that story so much, I enjoyed that world so much. Speed up, excellent. And Super Paper Mario was also fun. I think it was also a very good game. It's not a Paper Mario game, though, and I think that's why it got a much more mixed reception. And don't get me started on Sticker Star. We don't want to talk about Sticker Star. Like, I love you, Intelligent Systems, but that was a misstep, and I know you were focused on Fire Emblem Awakening at the time, and thank you for that, because I love that game too. but Sticker Star is not a proper Paper Mario game. I'm rambling really hard about like 90s Nintendo and the way it used to be. These damn kids, get off my lawn, you sons of bitches! I don't want you stepping on my flowers. Get out of the flower bed, you goddamn savages. I don't know. I just think that the way that Nintendo has gone, the Wii U doesn't feel the way that I think Nintendo wants it to, and it doesn't feel the way I remember Nintendo consoles feeling when I was a child. And so, I don't know. I've got off on such a strange tangent here. I don't remember my original point. I don't really remember... I don't even know what my point is right fucking now, much less like 40 minutes ago when I started talking about this shit. I really should keep track of my trains of thought. But they have been derailed. They have been so thoroughly derailed. In any case, I should have used Krampus's head there. I'm so distracted by my ramblings. Fucking goddamn it. And as of right now, if anyone is saying anything in chat, I can't see chat at the moment because of the computer restart that was necessary to get the stream going back. I haven't brought chat back up, so if I'm missing anything that anyone is saying, then I'm sorry. It is not that I don't value you, it's that I just can't see you, and we are close enough to the end of the show that I really do not want to be focused on trying to get you to see what you're saying right now while I'm trying to finish up the show for the night. But I think that since the Nintendo 64 era, Nintendo has been kind of aching for a past that is gone. I think that Nintendo has wanted something, an era of gaming that passed away a long time ago, and they've been very protective of their audience because a lot of Nintendo's audience are kids, and that's fine. I'm not saying Nintendo is a kiddie company, like if you remember that whole argument circa 2003 or so, where people were really mad at Nintendo for being kiddie because, you know, they didn't have much in the way of incredibly gory murder simulators, which is a very silly reason, like, to say it's just like, they're not mature because they don't have games with blood in them. Like, when... But, I don't know. I think that there was this window where Nintendo was totally on top of the world. Like, they were doing everything right. They were controlling the business, often in a very cutthroat way. If you go back and look at the way they ran things during the NES and Super Nintendo eras, there are some arguments to be made for, says, like, hey, Nintendo, there's this little thing you may not have ever heard of. It's called fucking ethics. And because they were very much a monopoly after they revived the gaming industry following the incredible failure of Atari. But they have held on to that point of view for far too long, and they have held on to that era for far too long, where they're still trying to cater to audiences and to a demographic of parents who buy things for their children that I don't know if it really exists anymore. which is why there's stuff like Nintendo's online policies are badly broken by modern standards. And, you know, I'm not a big online gamer. I don't really play much of anything online except with friends, because I don't really like, you know, having 12-year-olds swear at me and that kind of... It's very... Online gaming has a tendency in a lot of contexts to be just kind of hostile and nasty. And I'm not a competitive person to begin with. So I don't necessarily feel like it's all that important for me, as a gamer at least, to have the kind of experience that is, like, you know, really online focused and multiplayer and all that kind of thing. Like, but Nintendo needs to get with the times. It's just they're being really stupid about the way they're handling things. Because Nintendo is... The friend code system is extremely limiting. And when I do, even when I play games online with friends through the 3DS, for instance, if I want to play Pokemon with one of my best friends, if I want to battle him or trade with him, the friend code system is incredibly cumbersome and clunky, and it gets in the way. And online services of any kind should not be protective the way that Nintendo is trying to be. They should be connective. They are intended to get people together and to allow people to share experiences. And Nintendo is still very much clinging to that idea that they need to be protective. And as such, we have the friend code system. And it's problematic. And it's not fun, and it's frustrating. And for those of us who are adults who can totally take care of ourselves and are not at danger necessarily of, you know, online predators and that kind of shit, just, like, it makes this way more difficult for audiences to really... I had this Jera rune. Why didn't I multiply the chests on the chest? Because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. But, I don't know, like, they're catering to a young audience, and I think that their audience is aging out of what they're trying to sell. Fuck. Well, I think at this point that is, in fact, the stream. We failed very late in the game. We had a good run. If I had not been distracted by talking to you all, I probably would have done better. I might have won that run. But as it is, I am so grateful that you have joined us for tonight's Cybercrash. I have been David Zane Aarons. If you enjoyed the show, I hope that you will follow me on social media at @DavidZAarons on Twitter and Facebook.com/CyberCrashShow. You can tune in Wednesday. We will probably be playing some Terraria then. Regular streams will always be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings from 5 to 8 Mountain Time. For you US viewers, that's 4 to 7 Pacific, 6 to 9 Central, 7 to 10 Eastern. International viewers, that's currently UTC 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. VODs will be archived for newcomers and slackers at youtube.com/user/cybercrashshow. If you like this live content, I may also post some scripted content on that channel, reviews, reactions, etc. Subscribe if you hang out on YouTube. Comment if you have something to say. I've been David Zane Aarons. This has been Cybercrash. Until next time, zoom out, breathe out, and live like you mean it. Thanks for joining us tonight.